All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a fire shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless again shall be king. Ye are our Tolkien. Greetings and salutations, mortals. A capital day to you all. I am your humble host, Simeon, and you have wandered, perhaps not by accident, into what some call the Library of Gnosis. The mystic walks a path veiled in shadows, where even the lantern he carries offers little protection. It flickers, threatened by the wind, barely holding the encroaching darkness at bay. Yet, he still walks, not despite the obscurity, but because of it. His journey is not toward a known destination, but towards understanding itself. He moves into unmapped realms as an explorer moves into new lands, over hills and rivers, mental and spiritual territories that cannot be charted by compass or cartography, but only by interior vision. The landscapes ahead are vast and shifting, shaped first in the imagination, tested by intuition, and refined through experience. He heads east. Not the geographic east, but the symbolic one. The place of sunrise, of initiation, of renewed vision. It is towards the source of light, not the light itself, that the mystic ventures. And though he is alone, he is not lost. He is a brave adventurer, a veteran of 1,000 psychic wars, forged in the crucible of introspection. He is a mystic without a monastery, a seeker without a temple, a light bearer who walks without certainty. He walks a path he's unsure even has a destination, because if he knew where it led, it would no longer be a mystery, no longer a pilgrimage, but a commute. The unknowable is not a defect of the path, it is its purpose. The road winds not to a city, but to a clearing in the soul where truth reveals itself by degrees. Consider the Hermit card from the Tarot. A solitary figure, robed in grey, holding a lantern aloft. He stands upon a cold and barren mountaintop, the air thin, the path treacherous. His light does not flood the world, it illumines only the next step. The lantern contains a 6-pointed star, the seal of Solomon, union of opposites, above and below. He holds it not for himself alone, but as a guide for those who come after. This is the Hermetic Seeker, a lone Hermeticist. Hermetic? Hermit? From whom the very word hermit is derived. A true hermit in both word and essence. From the Greek, hermetikos, sealed, closed to the profane, open only to the initiate. From this lineage springs the very word hermit, a guardian of inner mysteries, a walker between seen and unseen worlds. In astrology, the hermit corresponds to Virgo, the mutable earth sign ruled by Mercury. Virgo is the analyst, the perfectionist, the one who separates wheat from chaff, seeking purity, not in denial, but in clarity. And Mercury, the psychopomp, the guide of souls, rules communication between worlds. The Hermit is one who turns inward to illuminate the unseen. Because the lantern in his hand is not the brightest object available to him to light his way. The Rider-Waite version of the card shows an old man standing on a mountain peak, carrying a staff in one hand and a lit lantern containing a 6-pointed star in the other. In the background is a mountain range. According to Eden Gray, his lantern is the lamp of truth, used to guide the unknowing. His patriarch's staff helps him navigate narrow paths as he seeks enlightenment, and his cloak is a form of discretion. From darkness to light is a phrase that holds significant symbolic meaning in Freemasonry. It's commonly used to describe the journey of an initiate or new member who moves from a state of ignorance or unawareness, darkness, into knowledge, understanding, and enlightenment, light. In Masonic rituals, particularly during the initiation into the first degree, entered apprentice, the candidate is often symbolically blindfolded, representing their state of spiritual and intellectual darkness. When the blindfold is removed, it is said that they are brought from darkness to light, signifying the beginning of their journey toward greater wisdom, moral development, and self-knowledge. Freemasonry is not about how good of a man you are, it is about how good of a man you want to be. Odin, the Allfather, the one-eyed god, he who plucked out an eye to drink from the well of wisdom. Some even say that this is where we get that wink from, because it implies hidden knowledge. The wink, often playful, is a gesture of those who know. He was the wandering god after all. And if you observe the Hermit card carefully, he is actually only showing one of his eyes. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? Matthew 6:22. Now, the idea for the broadcast came to me in a vision, where I was exploring a dark, shadowy path with a lantern on a road with an unknown destination. It came to me when the idea that my explorations do not seem to have a defined end goal or destination, but is a constant journey of discovery and exploration. And the vision reminded me of the Hermit card. So of course I had to start researching the topic. And as with most things on my journey, another clue came to me synchronistically when I discovered that Carl Jung had an eerily similar vision. At about this time, Jung had a wondrous dream where he struggled through the fog and darkness against a headwind, with his hands cupped around a tiny light which threatened to go out at any moment. And he knew that everything depended on his keeping this little light alive. In the dream, he became aware of something monstrous behind him, and when he turned, he saw a gigantic black figure following him. But he knew that he had to keep going regardless of all dangers. When he woke, he realized that this little light was his consciousness, and that the shadow had been his own shadow, his number 2, which convinced him that his number 1 was the bearer of light, and the storm pushing against him was time, ceaselessly flowing into the past. Young felt that this realization was externally inspired, that he could not have hit on it by himself. While he resolved to leave number 2 behind, he understood that he could in no way deny him or declare him invalid. That would have been a self-mutilation, and would moreover have deprived him of any possibility of explaining the origin of the dreams. Further, he recognized the strength of his number 2, a spirit who could hold his own against the world of darkness. End quote. While the path of the mystic might not have a clearly defined end, this broadcast sure does. So now, as we stand at the precipice of the end, I want you to write, "Not all those who wander are lost," so I know you made it this far. Please check out my Patreon, and I will see you in the next one, mortals.